Hi, I'm Jon Peterson with P3 Theater Company. If you want to learn more about our production of Funny Bōnz, the humorous solution, coming up at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, you stay tuned for this upcoming interview. When did I fall in love with theater? I fell in love with theater, I guess, I think the moment that I knew for sure that theater was my calling was in 1992. Yes, now I'm aging myself. I was doing summer stock in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania at Mountain Playhouse, a production of Camelot. I tell you, as an ensemble member, that is not the most exciting show in the world to be in. But I remember one night during the curtain call, the curtain came up for the cast to take the bow, and in the front row was this just adorable little old lady, had to be in her 90s, on her feet, tears pouring down her face, and just knowing that I was a small part of something that was able to just create such emotion in a human being and really make a difference, or even if it was just 2 or 3 hours. I will never forget that moment. And that was, gosh, that was like almost 30 years ago. So that's when I fell in love with the theater. And I think ever since then, it's just knowing that I have the ability to make that type of a difference. I'm not a nurse or a doctor or a policeman. I can't fix the world in those ways, but I can take someone away from their world and take them to a new place with a whole new story, and I get to be somebody else to do that. And it felt like a true fit for me. So the theater experience is a unique experience, very different from TV or film, both for the actor and the audience, in the fact that you're there, physically in the same space. So yeah, you can get caught up emotionally looking at your big screen TV or at the movie screen at you know AMC, and you can really get caught up in the storylines there. But when you're in person in the same room, you're sharing the same energy with the audience. The audience is feeling the energy from the actors and vice versa, and that real in person experience, it almost makes the experience more tangible. Like you could reach out and touch that person, like, physically. Well, not if you're in a really huge theater space and they're in the back row, but it's a whole different experience, because for the audience, not only are you sitting there experiencing what's happening on stage with those actors or with those characters and in those situations, but you're in a room full of other spectators that are sharing that same experience as you, and you can get caught up in that. And then as an actor, you feel that energy coming from the audience, and you feed on that, you thrive on it. If you're making somebody laugh in the audience, instinctually as a human being, you want to make them laugh even more. Or if you're bringing them to a really sad place, you just, when you feel their sadness by what you're creating for them, it makes it really an immediate experience. I really feel for TV and film actors. It's tough for them for sure, but they don't get that immediate gratification of an audience, of seeing an audience's reaction to their artistry. As a stage performer, you get that. If they don't like a show, you're going to know it. They're not going to laugh, or they're not going to applaud. But if you're giving them a top-notch experience, they're going to be with you every step of the way for that. So I first heard of the Hollywood Fringe Festival, I think it was back in 2018, 2019, when right near the conception of P3 Theater Company. I was just diving into everything in the theater community in LA and Orange counties. And I heard of this Fringe Festival, and I thought, well, what is this? So I looked them up and saw what they were about. And I thought, okay, well, I'm starting a theater company. I can't really put a main stage musical into an event like the Hollywood Fringe Festival. But at the same time, I was also developing my one-person cabaret show. Uh, so in 2019, I actually applied to be in the Hollywood Fringe Festival and bring my one-person cabaret show, The Theater is a Lady, to the Fringe Festival. But the month that I wanted to premiere my cabaret show in the Fringe was very close to the grand opening of P3 Theater Company. and I became so caught up in trying to start a theater company and do a huge musical that I had to back out of the Fringe that year. So I didn't end up doing it in 2019, but it's always been in the back of my mind. Um, we all know that they didn't do one in 2020, and we all know why, so I'm not even going to say that. But over this last year, through the pandemic, we created a virtual production of a musical sketch comedy review show called Funny Bōnz, the Humerus solution. And in getting to know a little bit more about what the Hollywood Fringe Festival is about, the style of that show being a sketch comedy musical review seemed to be a really good fit for something like the Fringe Festival. And now with the world starting to revolve again and theater, live theater beginning to happen, I thought the Hollywood Fringe Festival 2021 would be a fantastic place to take the virtual production of Funny Bōnz, update some of the material, and present it at the Hollywood Fringe Festival and see if it could have some legs to stand on to actually bring it to the Southland on a regular basis and have it be a recurring show for locals and tourists alike. So I heard about Theater Asylum. I'm pretty sure it was back in 2019 when I was looking to do the Fringe Festival back then. I think in my researching different venues that I came across them, and Matt Quinn and I were actually talking about this, and I think we actually met 2 years ago, and then I toured a couple of his spaces, and then we didn't end up doing the Fringe. Well, during the pandemic, as a member of the Orange County Theater Guild, I was on a roundtable discussion. I was one of the panelists, and Matt was watching that day. So my name was kind of brought into his mind again back in 2020. And then when I was researching for the 2021 Fringe Festival, Theater Asylum kept popping up on my Google searches for venue rentals. So I thought, this sounds familiar. Let me reach out. And then I reached out to Matt Quinn with Theater Asylum, and we were talking, and we realized in the discussion that we had met physically. He had seen me in the round table, and needless to say, just based on our connections over the last couple of years, we realized we were really a great fit for each other. What they offer at Theater Asylum is it's really an extraordinary experience. So really glad to have reconnected with them and be working with them on the Fringe. What is Funny Bōnz? Well, first and foremost, Funny Bōnz is the humorous solution. See what I did there? It is actually a musical sketch comedy review show that lampoons current events, politics, celebrities, social mishaps, basically anything and everything in the news, which we all know nowadays is daunting. We take the lighter side of that and bring humor to what's out there in the news and what's driving us all crazy, because that's the only thing we can do in the world is laugh at it. So if I were to describe Funny Bōnz in one sentence, I would basically say it's like a musical Saturday Night Live. So when we did the virtual Funny Bōnz production back in April of 2021, because it was virtual, we had the luxury of being able to have actors from anywhere in the world, which we had 7 actors in the show from 7 different cities, 4 different states, and 3 different time zones, putting together this virtual production. Well, I can't bring all those actors who have full-time jobs in their own cities and bring them all out to Hollywood to do a local live on-stage production. So I had to reach out and find some amazingly funny and talented singer/comedians for the show. So I would say there are 6 of us in the show. I will be one of those. So I know me. Jimmy Hippensteel is a good friend of mine from the early 90s. We've known each other and done lots of theater together. He is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. I have a young lady named Cara Brulette who is in the show. I've known her for a while. And then the other cast members came to me through auditions. We posted several audition notices and took video submissions, and had some great submissions. Couldn't cast everybody that I wanted to keep our small ensemble cast. But we have Ryan Lee and Spencer Frankenberger, who I had never met before. And Last but not least, there is one more person that's in the cast that I did know. Her name is Shai Culver, and she was in one of our productions in our inaugural season. She played Annelle in Stu Magnolias. So we've got some amazing comedians for you in the show. For all of our audience that comes to see the show Funny Bōnz, I want just that for them. I want them to laugh. I want them to find things funny, to just see the lighter side of life and receive a little levity from the daunting world that is out there, from this horrible pandemic that has affected every single person in the world. For them to just have a period of time where they enjoy themselves, they're entertained, they laugh, they find humor in challenging situations, in politics, in current events, that they just really just enjoy themselves. People should attend Funny Bōnz at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, because if you don't, I will hunt you down like a dog. But seriously, why should people come to see the show? Because they need to laugh. People are way too serious these days. There's just too much seriousness going on in the world. We're giving you a chance to get away from that. And I promise you, you will leave that show feeling better about life than when you came in. In doing Funny Bōnz at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, I'm looking to see live audiences in a theater again, to feel that buzz and the energy that surrounds the nervousness of the cast backstage as they wait to go on stage to entertain people who are hungry for entertainment, for people who just, they put some amount of money down and they want to be entertained. They want to have a good time. And just that whole energy surrounding that, there's nothing like it. So one of the coolest things about the Hollywood Fringe Festival this year is, historically, it has always been a live in-person event. Well, because of the pandemic that has hit the world this last year, the arts have really scrambled to find a way to keep going and to bring arts and the healing aspect and the entertainment aspect of what they bring to people who are in their homes. So this year, for the very first time, the Hollywood Fringe Festival is the first Fringe to do this. We are going to be bringing our show to you. We have 5 performances of Funny Bōnz, and our final closing night performance, you viewers at home can also stream, watch the live stream of it. So there will be a camera in there capturing us at the very moment that we're performing it, and that will stream directly to your homes, to your favorite streaming device. So that performance is the final performance of Funny Bōnz at the Fringe, which is August 28th at 10:30 p.m. Pacific time. So the Hollywood Fringe Festival, we're participating in it with P3 Theater Company on our production of Funny Bōnz, but it is really important for audiences to get out there and view as much of the theater as you can that's being performed at this festival. And that's because this festival is such a unique platform. We're talking dozens of theaters in the Hollywood, California area, and beyond now with the streaming capabilities. So these theaters are mounting all these productions. I'm not even sure the number of productions. I think it's 70 something this year, which is a little low, but that's because of COVID. But first of all, they're extremely affordable for the Fringe Festival. Ticket prices are extremely affordable, but you have everything from professional theater companies such as ourselves to independent producers, to first-time producers, to small theater companies. And a lot of what you'll see at the Fringe Festival is world premiere. So there is some really amazing material that's being put out there. There is literally something for everybody at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. You would be supporting live theater. You'd be supporting local theater. You'd be supporting independent artists. And there is a lot of entertainment to be had. So if musical sketch comedy review is not up your alley, you can find a magic show. You can find one woman or one man shows about socially relevant issues. You can find improv comedy. You've got everything out there. So if you like a wide range of things, go see as many as you can. Absolutely. Events like the Hollywood Fringe Festival and all of the Fringe festivals around the world are very special in that they are a platform for writers and artists to have their work seen. And those works, there have been multiple shows that have been in different Fringe festivals around the world that have won Tony Awards, that have won Pulitzer Prizes. They create a platform for artists to grow and to bring more quality entertainment to our viewers, to the world's audiences. So it's just such a special occasion. Local theaters are so important and need the support of our patrons, because local arts really get into the root of the communities. Not everybody can afford a big Broadway show, or to go to New York, or to go to the West End, or go see a show in Chicago. Local theaters are right here in your backyard, and we bring so much of quality art and arts programming to families, to children, to communities. And without your support, they can't go on. Getting donor support and patrons, ticket buyers, subscribers, they're really important for the survival of these smaller local theater companies. And you need us, we need you. It's a win-win situation. So one of the neatest things I have learned as a Hollywood Fringe Festival virgin is that it's a whole different community of theater that I didn't even know existed right here in my backyard as a producer. It is such a supportive community of producers, actors, directors, creatives. The venues are all super supportive, and they all work together. And it's all run by just a small handful of people, most of them volunteers. And it's the friendships that are developing, and the camaraderie, is such a neat experience that you don't get if you're locked in your own individual theater space, producing your own season to your set group of patrons. It's a whole new world out there, and it's really cool to see that there's more crazy people like us out there in the theater world. So it's been a true honor to be a part of the Hollywood Fringe Festival process this year. I'm Jon Peterson, Executive Artistic Director of P3 Theater Company. And if you've enjoyed this talk about the Hollywood Fringe Festival and Funny Bōnz, the humorous solution, make sure you visit our website at www.p3theater.biz. That's P3, THEATRE.biz, and get your tickets for Funny Bōnz at the Hollywood Fringe Festival today.